So who are these mysterious investors? Are they kind humanitarians just wanting to help those in need? Or are they greedy businessmen looking to cash in at the expense of others? This is Callum Smiles for Rebel News, and I'm outside of another migrant hotel. Now, the reason I've come to the Whately Hall Hotel here in Banbury, Oxfordshire, is because this is a classic example of what's happening up and down the country. This historic 17th century building has survived on its own as a hotel for decades, but recently decided to shut its doors to the public to take up one of the government's lucrative offers to house illegal migrants. On the 25th of November, the staff here at the Whately Hall Hotel found out they no longer had a job, and that any pay or redundancy would have to be claimed via the government. So they rightfully protested outside of the hotel, which got the hotel a lot of unwanted attention in the media and a lot of scrutiny on social media.
Hi guys, welcome. So we are with a few of the Whately Hall ex-employees who were made redundant instantly last week and were told last night that they will get no pay, not only for their month, not only for the month that they just worked of November, but we also have to claim all redundancy through the government. So we are here today to do a peaceful protest with the backing of Banbury. Like, you guys have been absolutely amazing this morning. We can't believe the support that we've been getting from family.
The Whately Hall Hotel had very loyal staff who were rightly surprised to find themselves jobless and out of pocket only weeks before Christmas. This hotel was a dependable local employer and had employees with years of service under their belts. One of the employees was the young head chef Jordan Blenko. He described Whately Hall as a business he fell in love with. When the announcement was made, Jordan and other staff took to social media to raise awareness, and it's this social media pressure which forced the owner of Whately Hall to reach out. Eventually, after several days of back and forth, lots of negative press, and a very vocal response on social media, the Whately Hall Hotel agreed to pay the staff for November. However, with redundancy, former head chef Jordan Blenko explained on Facebook that, "Unfortunately, we haven't been able to come to a mutual resolution with management and have been informed we will need to claim redundancy, holiday pay, and pay in lieu through the government. It's extremely disappointing having to proceed with this exhausting and lengthy process." So the staff were left out in the cold just before Christmas, and the new migrants moved in. The new migrants are enjoying 3 meals a day, weekly spending allowances, and a comfortable roof over their heads. Just from what I've seen myself after walking around the back, they're enjoying a nice ping pong and a snooker tournament whilst multiple staff members sit around not doing very much. Footage even emerged on social media, filmed by the migrants themselves, of some young Afghani and Pakistani men enjoying a nice meal in the lovely dining room here at the Whately Hall Hotel. So we have a situation here in the UK where many investors, many of whom aren't from the UK, buy up struggling hotels, rent them out on lucrative contracts to the government to house migrants, which can be great for investors, but disastrous to local communities who are waking up to hundreds of migrants dumped on their doorstep. The Daily Mail reported that up in Skegness, a similar situation is happening. A company called H&H Hotels has bought up 4 Skegness hotels and is renting them out to the government to use as migrant accommodation. The Sun Hotel and the Chatsworth Hotel are 2 of the hotels owned by H&H Hotels. The same article went on to claim that managing director of H&H Hotels, Egyptian Hassan Arif, 32, could be making the hotel firm up to £11 million per year from renting out rooms to the government paid for by the taxpayer. It continued. H&H has also set up companies to manage hotels in Brighton, Eastbourne in Sussex, and Blackpool in Lancashire. It runs another hotel in Great Yarmouth in Norfolk and one in London, which is being used to house migrants, meaning the amount the firm is making could be even higher. So who are these mysterious investors? Are they kind humanitarians just wanting to help those in need? Or are they greedy businessmen looking to cash in at the expense of others? Well, in this case, the owner here at the Whately Hall Hotel is Ravi Ruparelia. Now, Ravi is a hard man to find. We've been trying to contact him. Hi, can I speak to Ravi Ruparelia, please?
He's not available. Can you email him, please?
Your call is important to us and will be answered soon.
He's very private. He's an investor.
So as you can see, Ravi is a very, very, very difficult man to get in touch with. Hopefully he gets back in contact with us, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Ravi isn't afraid of publicity, of course, but only if it's good publicity. In a recent article in the Banbury Guardian, he confirmed that the Banbury Hotel was being let to young refugees between 4 and 17 years old, and he appealed to the Banbury public for clothing and other necessities to help give the children what they need. You'd think, given the good Samaritan that Ravi is, that he'd surely take some of his presumably millions of pounds from these government contracts to at least give them the clothes they need. But isn't this just typical? Someone with little to no ties to the area is letting out his hotels to migrants, taking the money off the UK taxpayer and riding off into the sunset. Like we've seen in many of these migrant hotels around the country, of which there are more than 400 of them, it appears that a handful of very savvy businessmen are taking advantage of this migrant crisis and are using it as a get-rich-quick scheme. This has been Callum Smiles for Rebel News in Banbury, Oxfordshire. If you value our reporting whilst covering the migrant crisis, please head over to migrantreports.co.uk and help where you can. Thank you.